Okay, let's unpack this. You know how sometimes you hear about these massive global shifts, maybe demographic changes or new economic trends, but it's really challenging to grasp the sheer scale of it all and, more importantly, what it genuinely means for people's lives on the ground. Well, today we're diving deep into a topic that directly touches millions of lives and, frankly, profoundly reshapes our world: international migration. But we're going to examine it through a truly unique and incredibly comprehensive lens. India's robust and constantly evolving engagement with its global citizens. Our mission for this deep dive is really to extract the most important nuggets of insight from our sources, giving you a shortcut, sort of, to understanding how a country as vast and complex as India actively manages, supports, and even strategically leverages its immense human potential on the global stage. We'll be looking at everything from high-level strategic agreements, the big deals, down to the intricate details of practical support systems and deep cultural connections. It's a fascinating look, really, into a truly dynamic force influencing economies and societies worldwide.
Yeah, and what's truly striking here is how this goes far beyond just, you know, people moving from A to B. This is about a nation that keenly recognizes its immense demographic strength, and it has proactively built this sophisticated, multi-layered framework for global mobility, yes, but also for comprehensive citizen welfare. It really highlights the multifaceted nature of modern international relations, where human capital isn't just a resource, it's seen as a key asset. An asset that comes with significant national responsibility, right? It's a really compelling case study.
Absolutely. So let's kick off with that big picture then. When we talk about international migration, India isn't just like a participant. It's arguably one of the most significant leading forces. Our sources highlight India's advantageously poised position, that's the phrase they use, because of its unique demographic potential. Can you elaborate on what this means? Not just in abstract terms, but for you listening and for the entire global labor market.
All right, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really about a confluence of raw numbers and compelling future trends, trends that are actually already unfolding. India's working age population, that incredibly vital segment, the engine of any economy, is projected to peak at a staggering 68.9%.
68.9%.
Which means we're talking about, get this, 1.04 billion people by 2030 in the working age bracket.
Wow, 1 billion.
It's huge. And this isn't really a statistic on some spreadsheet, right? It means India will command this massive, young, and inherently mobile workforce, ready to contribute globally. This demographic reality fundamentally repositions India. It becomes a global human capital powerhouse. It's capable of uniquely addressing labor demands, especially in aging economies worldwide. So it reshapes international migration flows, influences diplomatic priorities. It makes India an absolutely crucial player, a central player maybe, in global labor markets, impacting everything from, say, skilled IT professionals to essential manual labor across tons of industries.
That really reframes how we should view India's role, doesn't it? And what makes this truly compelling for the global economy isn't just that sheer workforce potential, but the powerful synergy created by India's vast diaspora. This network of people of Indian origin living abroad is just incredible. The number mentioned is over 32 million strong.
That's right, an enormous number.
And what's genuinely eye-opening is their tangible and profound impact on India's economy, specifically through remittances.
Exactly. And that raises the important question. What exactly is the concrete, tangible impact of this vast interconnected diaspora? Well, the numbers, they really speak volumes here. India currently stands as the top remittance-receiving country in the entire world.
Number one.
Number one, with an inward flow hitting an astonishing USD 125 billion in 2023 alone.
$125 billion.
Billion. With a B. And this isn't just like money sent home. This colossal inflow serves as a significant economic stabilizer for India. Think about it. It directly boosts national income, provides crucial financial support for countless families, it drives domestic consumption, and it fuels local development and investment right across the country. It is basically this powerful, resilient financial bridge built by its citizens working across the globe, providing a consistent influx of foreign currency that supports economic growth and stability. It's massive.
Given this immense human potential and the powerful economic impact we just talked about, the natural next step is to understand how India strategically leverages this. And this brings us directly to the government of India's clear stated objective. Our sources explicitly lay it out, quote, to promote safe and legal migration to provide employment opportunities abroad for both workers and professionals. So, this isn't just a passive observation of a global trend, right? It's an active, deliberate, and truly strategic policy goal from the highest levels. Designed, it seems, to harness this demographic dividend responsibly.
Precisely. It's very intentional.
No, that's a powerful objective. So how does India translate this high-level policy goal into concrete, actionable steps? Our sources give fascinating details on the Immigration Policy and Welfare Division's work, establishing these institutional mechanisms to foster global mobility. Can you elaborate on what these mechanisms are and fundamentally who do they ultimately serve?
Yeah, what's truly insightful here is how India has moved beyond just, individual agreements. They've built a layered legal architecture for mobility. Think of it less as just a collection of separate treaties and more like India systematically constructing this global network of pathways for its talent, ensuring safety and legality at every step. The ministry proactively furthers mobility through a really diverse array of formal agreements. We're talking memoranda of understanding, MARIUs, which are often broad frameworks, and then more specific agreements like migration and mobility partnerships, MMPAs. They often cover broader groups like students and professionals, and then labor mobility and labor welfare agreements, LMAs, which are specifically focused on labor conditions and worker welfare.
Okay, so different tools for different needs.
Exactly. Each plays a distinct role in building this robust legal structure for safe migration. And the stated aims are multifaceted. It's about fostering people-to-people ties, building those cultural bridges, right? Streamlining visa procedures, making the process smoother, preventing irregular migration, which is crucial for safeguarding against exploitation and trafficking, strengthening bilateral relations, benefiting both countries, and significantly supporting skill development, making sure Indian workers meet or even exceed global standards. It's a very strategic, multi-pronged approach, considering the whole ecosystem of global mobility.
That really paints a picture of a well-thought-out system. Let's unpack this with some real-world examples, right from the current year, highlighted in our sources. We've got a fascinating list of countries that have signed these agreements, each with its own sort of unique strategic flavor. First up, Mauritius. Tell us about the MOU on employment of workers and how quickly it was operationalized. What kind of framework does it set up?
The agreement with Mauritius is a prime example of India's drive for rapid implementation. So India and Mauritius signed their MOU on employment of workers on May 10th. What's truly remarkable is how swiftly it moved from signing to actual implementation. The first meeting of the joint working group on this MOU was held less than 2 months later, end of June, in Mauritius. And by October 1st, the MOU was fully operationalized.
Wow, that's fast. May to October.
It isn't just quick. It really shows a commitment to making these agreements effective on the ground almost immediately. The agreement establishes a clear institutional framework, specifically designed to facilitate structured and regulated recruitment, employment, and importantly, the repatriation of qualified Indian workers. Across various sectors in Mauritius, it's about creating a smooth, reliable, and mutually beneficial pipeline for labor mobility.
Okay, so from that efficiency with Mauritius, our diplomatic journey now takes us to Europe, specifically Austria. An MMPA was signed there on May 13th. What specific provisions does this particular agreement include, given Austria's distinct labor market needs?
Right, the MMPA with Austria, signed May 13th, it's quite broad and forward-looking in its scope. It includes provisions specifically designed to facilitate the mobility of Indian students, those looking to study in Austria, and also those seeking post-study work opportunities, which is a key pathway for talent retention, you see. Critically, it also aims to ease the movement of skilled professionals and business persons, acknowledging Austria's need for specialized talent.
Yeah.
And a notable inclusion is facilitating mobility through Austria's red, white, red card scheme.
Ah, the red, white, red card.
Exactly. It's a specific streamlined visa and work permit program designed to attract qualified workers from outside the EU. This really shows a tailored approach, addressing Austria's specific immigration policies and economic demands, creating a direct channel for Indian talent.
Then we have Australia, a major and, increasingly important destination for Indian talent. An MMPA was signed there on May 23rd. What was discussed at their first joint working group meeting, that was in Canberra on October 13th, were there any, groundbreaking new initiatives mentioned, maybe signaling a deeper partnership?
Yeah, with Australia, the MMPA signed May 23rd. And their first JWG meeting on October 13th in Canberra was, by all accounts, highly productive. Key discussions included the formal adoption of the Mobility Arrangement for Talented Early Professionals Scheme Protocol, or MATES for short.
MATES. Oh.
This scheme is explicitly designed to support the mobility of Indian professionals, particularly early in their careers, to Australia, fostering that talent exchange.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the discussions went beyond just MATES. They explored innovative ways to expand cooperation into entirely new sectors, which indicates a growing and deepening partnership in human mobility.
Yeah.
moving beyond traditional areas, suggesting a strategic alignment on future workforce needs.
Interesting. Italy also signed an MMPA November 2nd during the External Affairs Minister's visit to Rome. How is this particular agreement being viewed? Is it considered a major milestone for India-Italy relations, and if so, why?
The MMPA with Italy, signed November 2nd during the EAM's visit, is indeed seen as a major milestone. The significance really stems from its potential to substantially enhance the mobility of business people, students, and skilled workers between the two countries, in a way that's not only efficient but also safe and legal. It addresses past complexities, aims to streamline processes. Beyond the immediate economic and professional ties it strengthens, it's also widely expected to significantly promote those people-to-people connections, deepening cultural and social links. It's a powerful step towards more interconnected relationship.
Okay. Shifting to the Middle East now. An agreement with Israel was signed November 3rd in New Delhi. This one sounds quite specific. What particular sectors are covered? And which authorities are specifically cooperating on this?
This agreement with Israel, signed November 3rd, is indeed quite targeted. It reflects specific labor market demands over there. It focuses on facilitating the temporary employment of Indian workers in particular sectors within Israel, notably construction and healthcare.
Construction and healthcare. Key sectors.
Absolutely. This directly addresses clear, immediate labor demands in Israel for skilled and semi-skilled workers. For its meticulous implementation, the cooperating authorities are explicitly named. You've got PB from the Israeli side, their Population and Integration Authority,
Yeah.
and the National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, from the Indian side. This highlights a clear emphasis on ensuring skilled and regulated entry, matching specific job requirements with trained Indian workers.
Got it. And finally, back to the UK. With the India-UK Young Professionals Scheme, YPS, launched March 1st. What are the key parameters for this unique initiative? What does it aim to achieve for young citizens from both sides?
Right. The India-UK Young Professional Scheme, launched March 1st under the broader India-UK MMPA, is a truly reciprocal and quite forward-thinking initiative. It permits up to 3,000 degree-holding citizens aged between 18 and 30.
3,000 from each side.
From both India and the UK, yes. To live and work for up to 2 years in their respective host countries. It's not just about labor, you see. It's specifically designed to foster cultural exchange, professional development, and mutual understanding among the younger generations, building those long-term ties and a shared appreciation for each other's societies.
That's a really comprehensive list of bilateral efforts, but are these the only mobility agreements India is pursuing? Or is there a broader ongoing strategy at play here?
Oh, not at all. What's consistently striking here is the continuous expansion of this strategic network. The list we just discussed. It's merely a snapshot, really. Negotiations for similar agreements are making significant progress with many other countries right now. Our sources specifically mention active discussions with Switzerland, Denmark, Russia, Finland, Malaysia, and Greece.
Quite a diverse group.
It really demonstrates a continuous strategic push to broaden India's global reach for facilitating safe, orderly, and legal migration pathways. It's an ongoing, dynamic process of forging new partnerships.
So these agreements are signed, which is a significant diplomatic step. But then what happens? Our sources detail important joint working group meetings, JWGs. Can you tell us what actually happens in these crucial meetings and maybe give us a couple of examples of their tangible outcomes?
Yeah, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these JWG meetings are where the practical implementation happens. The nitty-gritty details, the ongoing oversight, it's all thrashed out there. They transform those high-level diplomatic agreements into operational realities for individuals. For instance, the fourth JWG meeting with Japan was held in Tokyo on October 3rd, its primary purpose, to review the ongoing implementation of their Memorandum of Cooperation on Japan's Specified Skilled Workers Program, the SSW program. But beyond just a review, they discussed concrete steps to increase the number of Indian workers under that program, indicating a proactive effort to expand opportunities and fine-tune the system based on real-world experience.
Okay, so actively trying to grow the program.
Exactly. Another example, a joint coordination committee meeting held with Portuguese officials on October 27th. Here, the discussions revolved around creating a standard operating procedure, an SOP, for the precise implementation of their agreement on recruiting Indian workers in Portugal. This is vital, for ensuring consistency, fairness, transparency in the recruitment process, protecting both workers and employers. Then there was the inaugural JWG meeting between India and Germany in New Delhi on November 22nd, focusing on the practical aspects of implementing their comprehensive migration and mobility agreement. And most recently, the first India-Austria JWG meeting in Vienna on December 1st, specifically to ensure smooth implementation of their MOU. These aren't just diplomatic niceties, right? They're absolutely vital for making these agreements effective and truly beneficial on the ground for individuals, addressing challenges, optimizing pathways.
That makes sense. It's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Now, beyond these crucial bilateral efforts, India also engages with various international and multilateral organizations. What's the strategic approach there? And why is it important for a country like India to be involved on that global level, shaping the broader conversation around migration?
This diversification of engagement is absolutely key for a truly comprehensive global migration strategy. For instance, the 7th India-EU High-Level Dialogue on Migration and Mobility (HLDMM) was held in New Delhi on October 20th. This meeting was significant because it launched the second phase of the Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility (CAMM). And a joint press statement came out that specifically included elements related to skilled mobility and visa facilitation.
Across the whole EU bloc.
Yes, showing a commitment to facilitating mobility across a major economic bloc like the EU, demonstrating a desire to align with broader international standards and needs. Furthermore, India's participation at a senior official level at the 114th session of the International Organization for Migration, IOM, in Geneva, that was November 27th to 29th, that's crucial. This engagement aims to strengthen existing cooperation with the IOM and, critically, identify further initiatives for promoting safe, orderly, and regular migration pathways globally. It's about India actively shaping the global discourse and frameworks on migration rather than just reacting to them, ensuring its perspective and the welfare of its citizens are represented on the international stage.
Okay, let's unpack this next section. It's one thing to facilitate migration, create these pathways. But what about the safety and well-being of Indian citizens once they're actually living and working overseas? Our sources explicitly state the government accords high priority to safety and welfare of Indian citizens living abroad. How exactly do they achieve this in practice?
Well, what's truly comprehensive here is the array of initiatives, which truly act as critical tools towards this objective of citizen welfare. We're looking at a multi-pronged approach. It includes vital preparatory training, robust financial safety nets, and mechanisms for direct assistance. Specifically, the government leverages programs like the Indian Community Welfare Fund, ICWF, the Pravasi Bharatiya Bima Yojana, PBBY, that's the insurance, and the Pre-Departure Orientation Training Programs, PDOT. These aren't just names on a policy document, you know. They represent tangible, actively utilized support systems designed to protect and assist the diaspora throughout their journey abroad.
That sounds like a layered defense, yeah. Let's dive into the Pre-Departure Orientation Training Program, or PDT first. What exactly is it? Who delivers it? And what tangible impact has it had on prospective migrant workers, preparing them for the realities of life abroad?
Right, this raises an important question. How do you effectively prepare someone for that profound experience? Moving to and working in an entirely new country, often with different cultural norms, legal systems, labor laws. The PDOT program is a one-day training program, specifically focused on soft skills and essential knowledge. It's imparted by the Ministry of External Affairs in collaboration with key partners like the National Skill Development Corporation, various state governments, and other stakeholders. Its core purpose is to sensitize prospective migrant workers about two crucial things. First, the pathways to safe and legal migration, ensuring they understand their rights, responsibilities, how to avoid exploitation, and second, the various government welfare programs available for their protection while abroad. Beyond that, it also provides practical insights into the culture, basic language phrases, traditions, local rules, and regulations of their specific destination country, which is incredibly helpful for adaptation, avoiding misunderstandings.
You can see how crucial that would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a young person from a small village, maybe, and suddenly you have this opportunity to work in, say, a Gulf country. The PDOT program becomes your crucial first step into a completely new world. As of October, an impressive 134,227 prospective migrant workers had already benefited from these training programs, delivered both physically and online.
Over 134,000 people trained?
Yes. And recognizing its success and critical need, the program is being expanded significantly. 62 new PDOT centers recently approved across India. And to ensure the quality and consistency of this vital training, they even held structured training of trainers workshops, 2T workshops. For example, one in Chandigarh in August 2023 for Master Trainers for Punjab, another in New Delhi in September 2023 for Master Trainers from Assam. This systematic approach ensures not just broad outreach, but also high-quality, standardized preparation.
Beyond preparation, there's also critical protection through insurance, which seems absolutely essential for workers so far from home. What is the Pravasi Bharatiya Bima Yojana, or PBBY? What kind of security does it offer, particularly for potentially vulnerable workers?
The PBBY is a vital component of this extensive safety net, and it's especially crucial for those who might be most vulnerable. It's a mandatory insurance scheme, specifically for immigration check required, or ECR, category workers going to ECR countries. This scheme provides substantial insurance cover, amounting to INR 10 lakhs, that's 1 million rupees.
A million rupees.
In case of accidental death or permanent disability suffered by the worker while abroad. It also includes other associated benefits, providing critical financial relief to families back home in times of tragedy. And the premium for this crucial coverage is remarkably nominal, highly accessible, just INR 275 for 2 years or INR 375 for a 3-year validity.
That's very affordable coverage.
It is. And the scheme was further revised in August 2017, showing the government's responsiveness. These revisions expanded its reach, allowing even immigration check not required EC&R category workers to opt in voluntarily, broadening its protective umbrella. Critically, the revisions also aim to simplify the settlement of claims, ensuring benefits reach families quickly without undue bureaucratic hurdles. This scheme has provided insurance cover to an impressive 7,620,878 Indian migrant workers up to October of the reporting year,
Over 7.6 million workers covered.
demonstrating its wide and significant reach in protecting vulnerable populations and ensuring that baseline of financial security. It seems India is making sure its citizens aren't just crossing borders, but crossing them with a sophisticated safety net, attached sometimes quite literally.
Yeah, that's a powerful and practical form of protection. Now, for those in deep distress or facing dire emergencies abroad, there's the Indian Community Welfare Fund, ICWF. How does this fund operate? What broad range of assistance does it provide when people are truly in need, often in desperate situations?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the ICWF is truly designed as a lifeline, a critical safety net for citizens facing severe distress abroad. Established in 2009, this fund is used by Indian missions and posts abroad to provide means-tested assistance, meaning the aid is based on the specific needs and circumstances of the individual, ensuring resources go where they're most urgently required. The scope of assistance is remarkably comprehensive, addressing some of the most challenging situations an overseas citizen might face. It includes crucial support like the transportation of mortal remains back to India, or local cremation with the family's consent, which can be an immense financial and emotional burden at a time of grief. It also covers the settlement of death claims, often involving complex legalities.
You can only imagine how vital that is for families back home.
Absolutely. Imagine a family devastated by an unexpected death abroad, struggling with the immense burden of bringing a loved one home. The ICWF steps in to alleviate that immediate crisis. The numbers really underscore its profound impact. From 2014 to 2023, a significant amount, INR 626 crores from the ICWF, was utilized to assist 342,543 Indians in distress overseas.
Wow, 626 crore. That's substantial.
It is. And to give you a more granular view of the kind of help, legal assistance provided to over 3,300 nationals navigating complex foreign legal systems. Boarding and lodging assistance to over 170,000 individuals who found themselves stranded or homeless. Emergency medical care to over 10,500 distressed Indian nationals. Air passage home facilitated for nearly 37,500 stranded Indians, often those who lost jobs or were exploited. And the mortal remains of over 3,400 Indian nationals were airlifted back to India, providing closure to their families. It truly is a comprehensive and deeply impactful safety net, designed to address the most urgent and sensitive needs, providing that crucial last resort.
Moving beyond direct welfare and protective measures now, how does India actively engage with its vast and globally dispersed diaspora? Our sources mention the Diaspora Engagement Division and several key schemes aiming to foster these connections, making them feel less like distant citizens, more like active partners.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here is the strategic effort, not just to support, but to actively connect with and leverage the diaspora for India's development and for its soft power projection. The flagship event for this engagement is unequivocally the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, or PBD, convention, organized biennially around January 9th, chosen to mark Gandhi's return to India, right?
Right, from South Africa.
Exactly. It's a 3-day celebration specifically designed to mark the invaluable contribution of the overseas Indian community to India's development. It's a moment for high-level recognition, robust networking, and powerfully reaffirming those deep-seated ties.
Tell us more about the 17th PBD convention. That was in Indore, January 2023. After a 4-year gap due to the pandemic, who attended? What was the theme? And what were some of the key events or highlights that made it so significant, marking its return?
This particular event, the 17th PBD, was indeed very significant, marking its robust return as a physical event after that 4-year pandemic hiatus. Held in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, January 8th to 10th, 2023. In partnership with the state government, showing a collaborative national effort. The theme chosen really underscored its importance and forward-looking vision.
Diaspora, reliable partners for India's progress in Amrit Kaal.
Amrit Kaal, India's vision for the next 25 years.
Precisely, reflecting that grand vision. Approximately 3,500 diaspora members from an impressive 70 countries attended. Showcasing the truly global reach and commitment, the convention was inaugurated by the Prime Minister himself, a testament to its national importance. With the presidents of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, and Suriname, Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, participating as chief guest and special guest of honor.
High-level participation indeed, definitely. Beyond the dignitaries, there were concrete outputs. The PM inaugurated a digital PBD exhibition themed Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Contribution of Diaspora in Indian Freedom Struggle, highlighting the vital, often overlooked role of diaspora freedom fighters. A commemorative postal stamp, Suraksha Jayan, Prajakshi Jayan, was also released, beautifully underlining the importance of safe, legal, orderly, and skilled migration, a core tenet we've discussed. The President presided over the valedictory session and personally conferred the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Awards 2023 to 27 deserving diaspora members, recognizing their exceptional achievements globally. Other key elements included a dedicated youth segment featuring an Australian MP, Zanetha Maskaran, as guest of honor, engaging the next generation, and 5 thematic plenary sessions chaired at ministerial level, with dynamic panel discussions involving eminent diaspora experts. It was truly multifaceted and impactful.
Beyond fostering connections with adults, there's also that clear strategic focus on the younger generation, ensuring future ties. What's the scholarship program for diaspora children, SPDC? How does it aim to strengthen those crucial long-term connections?
The SPDC, introduced way back in 2006-07, is a forward-looking initiative, a crucial investment in the youth and the future of diaspora engagement. Its primary aim is to enable children of persons of Indian origin, PIOs, and non-resident Indians, NRIs, to pursue undergraduate courses in Indian universities. In doing so, it serves a dual purpose, actively promoting India as a leading center for higher studies, drawing talent back, and crucially strengthening the connection of these young individuals with their heritage, their roots, and the contemporary country. The ministry offers 150 scholarships annually under this scheme.
150 a year.
Yes. Strategically allocated, 50 for PIOs, 50 for NRIs, and significantly 50 specifically for children of Indian workers in ECR countries. Demonstrating commitment to supporting even more vulnerable segments. Since 2022-23, the scheme broadened to be open to youth diaspora from all countries, recognizing the global spread. And a positive step. Preference for up to 50% female applicants across all categories, promoting gender equality. Since inception, a total of 1,537 scholarships awarded until 2023, marking a consistent, impactful long-term investment in fostering these vital generational ties.
And for diaspora youth who want to truly immerse themselves, experience India firsthand beyond just studying, there's the Know India program, KIP. How does this program achieve its objective, creating those deep personal connections?
KIP is indeed the flagship initiative, specifically designed to engage diaspora youth, targeting those aged 21 to 35. Its core objective: strengthen their connection with India by giving them direct, immersive exposure to contemporary Indian life. This includes experiencing India's rich artistic traditions, its profound historical heritage, its vibrant modern culture. The program was revamped for the current year, partly due to increased participant numbers and expanded scope, showing its growing popularity. This year alone, 5 editions of KIP were conducted, the 66th to 70th editions, with 256 diaspora youth participating in total. During these programs, they embarked on these immersive journeys, visiting diverse places like Kerala, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh.
Covering a lot of ground.
Definitely. Each visit carefully curated to cover different program elements, ensuring a varied, authentic, deeply enriching experience. It's truly about direct, hands-on cultural connection, aiming to leave a lasting impression and foster that sense of belonging.
How does India support cultural preservation and promotion among its diaspora globally, ensuring Indian heritage thrives even far from its shores, passed down through generations?
Under the Promotion of Cultural Ties with Diaspora PCTD scheme, the ministry provides crucial grants to Indian missions and posts abroad. These grants are specifically allocated to support initiatives aimed at strengthening ties with the overseas Indian community, and, very importantly, to preserve, maintain, and showcase their rich Indian heritage and culture. The overarching goal is to nourish and strengthen these deep cultural bonds between India and its diaspora, ensuring cultural identity is maintained and celebrated across generations wherever they live. Beyond missions, grants also go strategically to think tanks and organizations in India that organize events relevant to the overseas Indian community, creating a broader ecosystem of cultural support.
So support both abroad and at home.
Exactly. The scheme itself has expanded over the years to include even more diverse events, demonstrating its adaptability. Like felicitating retired veterans within the diaspora, recognizing contributions of the Indian teaching community abroad, actively engaging with Indian students overseas, providing cultural anchors. In the reporting period, significant financial assistance, approximately INR 3.85 crore, that's 38.5 million rupees, was sanctioned to 52 missions and posts abroad for these vital diaspora events, showing a substantial, tangible investment in cultural diplomacy and heritage preservation as a core element of engagement.
It sounds like strong efforts to connect with the diaspora on the ground in other countries. But what about domestic outreach to state governments within India? And is there a digital hub for connecting with the diaspora in this age of technology?
Yes, absolutely. There are both crucial domestic outreach efforts and a critical digital hub. The Videsh Sampark program is a key domestic initiative involving in-depth dialogue between the ministry and various state governments. These state outreach events are organized in partnership with state governments to foster closer cooperation on welfare and protection issues, recognizing many migrants come from specific states. They also brief state officials on the ministry's broader initiatives and, crucially, work collaboratively on curbing illegal migration. This year, Videsh Sampark programs were conducted with Punjab and Haryana, recognizing their significant outward migration.
Targeting key states.
Right. Complementing this ground-level engagement is the Global Pravasi Rishta portal, a vital online digital platform, strategically launched to connect the entire diaspora, NRIs, PIOs, OCI cardholders, directly with the Government of India through its missions and posts. The portal facilitates crucial three-way communication: ministry, missions posts, and the diaspora themselves. Creating a responsive feedback loop, it serves multiple purposes: efficient dissemination of vital info, acting as a real-time news hub, and creating a comprehensive database based on voluntary registration. As of December, over 45,000 diaspora members had already registered, demonstrating its growing utility. It's truly about creating interconnectedness and responsiveness through modern tech.
Finally, a very important and sensitive area of assistance. How does the ministry provide support to Indian women facing marital disputes abroad, often in vulnerable situations? And what kind of specific support is extended to Indian students who might encounter issues while studying overseas? These are deeply personal, often distressing situations.
Yeah, this raises that important question. How do you provide direct personal support for deeply sensitive situations when individuals are far from their usual support networks? The ministry receives a large number of complaints regarding marital issues involving overseas Indians. These often include grave concerns like abandonment, desertion, emotional or financial harassment, complex child custody cases, which can be devastating. In such instances, the aggrieved women receive appropriate counseling, comprehensive guidance on their rights, and critical info about legal procedures available, both in India and the destination country. From January 1st to October, the reporting year, 187 such complaints were addressed by the ministry and its missions posts, demonstrating the high volume and critical, sensitive nature of this work.
Nearly 1,200 cases in 10 months.
It's significant. For students with approximately 9 lakh or 900,000 Indian students studying abroad, the division plays a crucial role in addressing a wide array of issues they might face. Done in close consultation with missions posts for localized support, issues can range from practical problems like fee refunds, admission difficulties, to, unfortunately, distressing cases of fraud or exploitation by unscrupulous agents or institutions. Beyond individual grievances, the ministry also took broader proactive steps, especially post-pandemic, facilitating ease of travel restrictions for students, diligently resolving visa issuance problems by taking matters up directly with foreign governments. It's a very practical, empathetic, and problem-solving approach to safeguarding the significant and growing segment of the diaspora.
Okay, now let's turn our attention to the mechanics of regulated employment overseas. India has a vast number of its citizens seeking work abroad. How does the country ensure that this migration for work is both safe and legal from the very outset? minimizing risks, preventing exploitation.
What's truly fascinating here is the foundational legal and administrative structure underpinning this entire process, designed to provide a robust safety net right from the start. The immigration of Indian workers, particularly those with immigration clearance required ECR category passports, is strictly regulated under the Immigration Act of 1983. This act is centrally administered by the Ministry of External Affairs, highlighting its importance. The key enforcement authority is the Protector General of Immigrants, PGE, who operates with 14 offices of the Protector of Immigrants, POEs, located strategically across India, in major cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, etc., ensuring broad access. And to further expand this crucial outreach, they've established additional POE offices in places like Patna, Bengaluru, Guwahati, and right now the setup of 3 new POE offices in Tripura, Bhubaneswar, and Ahmedabad is actively underway, expected to be operational in 2024, showing continuous strengthening.
So, expanding the regulatory reach, what's the specific role of recruiting agents in this process?
They're often the first point of contact, right? And which countries, these ECR countries, actually require this immigration clearance, distinguishing them from other destinations?
Right. To ensure proper oversight and accountability, recruiting agents are legally required to obtain a registration certificate directly from the PGI before they can legally recruit Indian workers for overseas jobs. This gatekeeping mechanism helps regulate the industry, weed out unscrupulous operators. Immigration clearance is then specifically granted by any of the POE offices for employment in 18 officially notified ECR countries. These are primarily in the Middle East and parts of Southeast Asia: Afghanistan, Bahrain, Indonesia, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Malaysia, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, South Sudan, Syria, Thailand, UAE, and Yemen.
That's the list of 18. That's the list. But it's important to note a crucial policy adaptation. Immigration clearance has been actively suspended for certain countries like Iraq, Libya, Syria, and Yemen due to prevailing security or political conditions. This highlights the responsive nature of the policy, prioritizing safety above all else.
Okay, here's where technology plays that huge transformative role in making this complex system efficient and secure. Tell us about the eMigrate project. How does this comprehensive digital system facilitate safe and legal migration? What's its overall impact been?
Yeah, we connect this to the bigger picture. eMigrate is a prime example of leveraging tech to fundamentally streamline and secure a massively complex process. It's a comprehensive e-governance portal, specifically developed to make immigration fast, transparent, and crucially, to address and minimize complaints and exploitation that historically arose. Operationalized in phases from May 2014, and remarkably, the entire immigration clearance process through all POEs was made completely online by September 2014.
That's incredibly fast for a government digital transformation.
It was swift, and it's been a monumental success since launch. At present, approximately 1,000 immigration clearance applications are processed daily across the 14 POE offices, demonstrating sheer efficiency and capacity. The eMigrate portal has registered over 4.2 million Indian migrant workers, employed with over 2 lakh registered foreign employers worldwide, facilitated through around 2,000 registered recruitment agents in India.
The scale is just immense.
Staggering. And crucially, the system is deeply integrated, with a Passport Seva project for real-time passport validation, preventing identity fraud, and seamlessly integrated with the Bureau of Immigration portal used at airports for online validation of the immigration clearance granted. This creates a seamless, secure, highly efficient system, from application right through to departure, minimizing fraud, ensuring legitimate movement.
That's an impressive technological backbone. But beyond eMigrate, which is clearly a cornerstone, what other additional steps has the government taken to safeguard immigrants' interests once they are abroad? Given the myriad challenges they might face, it really seems like a multi-layered approach.
Absolutely. This raises that important question. How do they provide comprehensive day-to-day support and protection once someone's already in a foreign land? The government has indeed taken several additional steps, creating a robust, multi-layered support network. Firstly, there's the online Madad portal, allows workers and families back home to register consular grievances online and track their progress, bringing accountability, visibility. Secondly, grievances specifically on overseas employment in ECR countries can also be lodged directly on the eMigrate portal itself, or they can seek direct help through Pravasi Bharatiya Sahayata Kendras, PBSK. These PBSKs are strategically set up in key destinations like Dubai, Riyadh, Kuala Lumpur, offering vital guidance and counseling. Complementing these are the Kshatriya Pravasi Sahayata Kendras, KPSK, located in India, Kochi, Hyderabad, etc., assisting immigrants or relatives with problems bridging that gap.
So help centers both abroad and in India.
Exactly. Thirdly, Indian mission posts have established 24/7 helplines and toll-free helplines, ensuring workers can seek help anytime, anywhere. Fourthly, the ministry and missions are highly responsive to grievances raised by social media, platforms like Twitter, showing commitment to addressing issues promptly in the digital age. Fifth, as we discussed, the Indian Community Welfare Fund, ICWF, is that critical financial safety net for means-tested assistance in distress, covering mortal remains transport, medical care, etc. And crucially, sixth, special protection for female domestic workers, to shield them from exploitation. Immigration clearance for female workers going to ECR countries is mandatory only through 11 specific state-run recruiting agencies, like Norca Roots from Kerala, UPFC from Uttar Pradesh, ensuring a vetted, responsible pathway for these vulnerable workers. It's a comprehensive, layered approach, designed to protect at every single stage of the migration journey.
So what does all of this mean for our understanding of international migration, particularly from India's perspective? As we've unpacked these sources, it becomes incredibly clear. India isn't just a country from which people migrate. It's a nation with a truly sophisticated, multi-layered, and incredibly proactive strategy to manage, support, and actively engage with its global citizens. From signing complex bilateral deals and developing cutting-edge digital portals like eMigrate, to providing essential insurance schemes and fostering deep cultural programs, it's a truly holistic approach, looking at every stage: pre-departure prep, post-arrival welfare, ongoing diaspora engagement. It's really quite remarkable.
It is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this deep dive highlights a compelling and frankly increasingly relevant model of how a country can strategically harness its demographic dividend while simultaneously upholding the safety and welfare of its citizens abroad. It's a complex balancing act, isn't it, that India appears to be navigating with increasing sophistication and foresight. And this raises an important question for you, the listener, to maybe ponder. How might other nations, particularly those facing similar demographic shifts, or perhaps with large diasporas of their own, how might they adapt or learn from such a comprehensive, evolving, and proactive model of global citizen engagement? It's a blueprint, perhaps, that could offer valuable lessons far beyond India's borders in navigating the complexities of global human mobility in the 21st century.
Thank you for joining us on this fascinating deep dive into India's profound engagement with its global citizens. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep digging deeper.